Hey everybody, welcome back to my reviewings. We're still on the Power Ranger audio drama season 1. This one's going to be episode 4, The Search by Carl Dalton. The runtime for this one's around 35 minutes. And I love how the title of this episode correlates through the entire episode about how like the press, the world governments, and even Rita is trying to figure out who the Power Rangers are. Yes, Rita knows the Power Rangers are against her, that they're trying to save Earth. But whereas at this point in time, the world government and just the people in general aren't 100% sure if the Rangers are good, if they're evil, but stopping Rita so they can turn around and take over the Earth themselves, they don't know yet. They don't even know the Power Rangers' names as the Power Rangers until later on in this episode, when Jason takes it upon himself to get ahead of the press and talk to the cameras after a major fight, which leads into Rita's ingenious plan of trying to figure out who they are. The way Carl wrote this from the beginning to the end of trying to figure out who the Rangers are. Now, we as the listeners, we know who the Power Rangers are. But the people in the story, they're all trying to figure out who these Rangers are. Now, I'm not going to go into details to how Rita figures it out. Oddly enough, Bulk and Skull have a YouTube channel. Their video ultimately leads to the discovery of who Kimberly is. If you've listened to this episode, you know. It was a nice surprise finally getting Bulk and Skull into the series. Even if it was a little cameo. And also, we find out Rita is not just searching about who the Power Rangers are. She's still searching for her counter to them. We all know, we all love the Green Ranger. She has the power coin that we found out the last episode. Well, she's been kidnapping people. Adults. Adult warriors. Now, the one they mentioned was a soldier. They gave a number to how many more they abducted and gotten rid of because the coin didn't interact. But I like to think maybe like soldiers, MMA fighters, boxers, martial artists, special ops, anybody that can be considered a warrior. But we also get to see the Rangers in a good, interesting light because they're not really in their suits very much in this episode, which I like that. I like getting to know the characters outside of their suits, behind the mask. And the Rangers have a party at Kimberly's house. How they do that? Because they all live around America. They take advantage of the teleportation system. I mean, what teenager wouldn't? Yeah, Zordon kind of puts his foot down on that a little bit later on, but he was kind of being a parent on that one. As in taking advantage of the teleportation system and taking advantage of Alpha. But yeah, the Rangers have a nice, fun party at Kimberly's house. And they get to meet Tommy for the first time. Because Kimberly has invited him over there also. So we find out there's a love triangle between Tommy, Kimberly, and Jason. Which I like that aspect because earlier episodes on the Power Rangers TV show kind of hinted at that, but they never dove deep into it. They never did anything with it. And Boom Studio Comics took it a whole different way, which I like how they did that. Different sets of Rangers, different universes. In the Scyther Inc. audio drama universe, there's a love triangle. It works. It plays out well. To the point it messes with Jason's head and he takes the anger out on putties. In very violent ways. But you get in-depth emotion in this one. Yes, it's another short episode. But I feel like the short episodes have a lot of information in them. A lot of people might not care for that, but that information is important in the long run. And also with this one, because I did kind of skip that note, sorry. It starts out with the flashback of Billy getting his power coin 2 weeks before anybody else does. And his power coin is completely at a surprising place. Listen to the episode and you'll find out where. But we see the power struggles within Rita with Goldar a little bit. Not too much. Him just being typical loyal to Lord Zed and questioning her methods. We see teens being teens, having fun, letting loose, and still have that human emotion. And Carl displayed that very well. Now, I know I didn't go into the episode that much like I normally did on the other ones, because there is so much information in this episode. This one, I will say, is not one of my favorite episodes, but the information in this episode is very needed. It's very key information. Is like, if you were to skip this episode and to go on to other episodes, you would be lost. It'd be like when we were growing up watching the Power Rangers as brand new episodes. If we missed that one episode that brought Tommy in as the Green Ranger, and we saw the next episode where there's a random Green Ranger fighting the Power Rangers, we didn't have the reruns at the time. We're like, who's this guy? What is he doing? Why is he bad? So, key information is not always in people's favorite episodes, but you gotta listen to them. Because I found out the last episode, which is one of my favorites, is not a lot of people's favorites. But there's a lot of information in that one also. Which, hey, my opinion, your opinion, your opinion. That's what makes the world go round. No harm in that. But until next time, laters.